Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning to these videos. Alright, so I wanted to come in with a quick lesson, speaking about, the hopeful elect, we're being gathered, sealed, and then we're seeing, that characteristic, of like-minded individuals, coming into this ministry. So we're supposed to, treat each other, as a brother in this ministry, because we know that the scriptures say that, that the world to come is for few, because, we see what's coming down the pipeline. We understand the prophecies that are written in the scriptures, are for us, so that we understand, the signs and the times. The signs and the times right now, I was seeing pretty much how, other brothers in Great Millstone were making videos about pretty much shutting the door. We're pretty much already locked in. Lord's will, the elect is already sealed, and we're just building up to that last hour of temptation, so that Lord's will, we all, pass it with flying colors. Because I have here in 2nd Ezra 2, and, I'm reading a little bit, but this is what we're looking forward to. These are the things that, to keep us in the right spirit, in the right track, and in the right straight and narrow, because one of the characteristics of the hopeful elect, is to, be brotherly, let brotherly love continue, because as Yahweh Shai was to the disciples, that's how we're supposed to be to each other here down, as with the hopeful elect, because, we're all going to be up there on the chariots, Lord will, me, myself, and, the Akim and Great Millstone make it all the way. We're going to be at this graduation, for passing these trials and temptations and putting on the elect. All right, so I want to read this real quick, so you can envision this. So this is 2nd Ezra 2, verse, I'll start at verse 42. It says, I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And it says, and in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, tall than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So you got to envision this, so that once all this said and done, that the World War III happens, Jacob's trouble, we've passed through all these trials and tribulations. This is what we're looking for. This is pretty much, that's that finish line, when we finally make it and we get crowned by Yahweh Shai himself. So that's why you're not supposed to ultimately walk equally yoked with an unbeliever, because as things get tighter on the straight and narrow, it's only going to be the ones who are on the straight and narrow, and if you're not with the straight and narrow, brothers, then that means you're on the broad path where many walk, and it's all going to lead to destruction. And then the broad gate's not leading to this, what I'm reading about. That's why you got to be circumspect, even rebuke brothers, put the scope on them, so that they don't lose the sight. They don't lose their step on the straight and narrow, because that's a form of love, what we do, because we all, as the elect, we want to be like the elect, and then we have to show love to the elect, because, we all don't know if we're going to make it all the way, but these are those characteristics, and if you don't got this in your mind, like you're looking forward to it, why even be in this race? I never met a person who was a boxer and was never really about boxing. If you're in this ministry in Great Millstone, being a prophet, to speak unto the nations, to gather the elect, being a watchman, your actions are going to have a result. And this is what I'm reading about. We're not just doing this for nothing. We're doing this for that prize, that uncorruptible prize. Right, so it says, he answered and said unto me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing. Oh, sorry, I'll read verse 44 again. It says, so I asked the angel and said, sir, what are these? And it says, he answered and said unto me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms. So we're putting off the mortal clothing. This is in a sense like, right now, and then when we get those spiritual bodies, we're putting off the old man, and coming into this thing as newborns so that we can grow in the right path. And then we're gonna get those crowns, those living bodies, that are never gonna die, and the laws written on our inward parts. So this is what you gotta look forward to. And if you ain't looking forward to this, then you are not a brother. I'm just gonna say it plain like that. Get it together. Read the scriptures. Because it says, through thy precepts I get understanding. So if you understand what we're in this ministry for, what you're doing this for, then you may be one of these people that I'm reading about. All right, so it says, verse 47, it says, so he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High. Oh, sorry, I keep scrolling down, but this is verse 46. It says, then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? And it says, so he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. So we're out there preaching the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. When we speak, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is speaking through us. So if you don't hear his voice and it doesn't resonate with you, then you're not of his. And you're pretty much, if you're in this thing and this doesn't resonate with you, you're going to be, pushed out, because you have to understand that the angels encamp around about them that fear the Lord. And if you don't fear the Lord, you're not doing this for the right reasons, then they ultimately, you're going to be destined to be kicked out of this ministry, and you're not going to be at this first go around when Yahweh Shai is crowning the elect. But see, because that says, it says, so he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. It's because we understand the order of things. We understand it's Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, and then King David as Peter in the reincarnation, and then the 12 of the disciples who became the apostles. So we know that this is the chain of command pretty much of the 144,000. We know that only so many are going to be able to make it. And we could experience that as we're walking our day-to-day lives. A lot of these people are not fit for this battle, which is spiritual. This is a spiritual warfare. None of them can really break down the precepts like others can, from this ministry. In this ministry, you're going to find, righteous men, men that would give the coat off your back, because that's what the elect would do. And that's why, I'm saying that we put on the elect. We pick up those characteristics. We learn a thing or two of our history, because that's what the hopeful elect would be doing right now. So it says, whom they have confessed in the world, then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. So it's a beautiful thing to see, a so-called Black Latino or Native American, wake up to the truth, find out that they're a Hebrew Israelite, and that they have a chance at salvation from the impending doom that the Heavenly Father is about to send down here. So it's that's why he says he greatly commends them, because those are the ones who were fighting, tooth and nail, metaphorically speaking, for this ministry to be pushed. If it wasn't for us, there wouldn't be no one out here speaking, in Yahweh Shai's name. There would be no one tending to the flock. But as Yahweh Shai said to Peter, he says, tend to my sheep, and that's what we're doing, all the way up until the famine of the word hits, and then we're going to spiritually know when that happens. Just as all these things that are happening right now, we're spiritually awoke. We know what time it is. That's why we say, arise, for now is your high. For now is high time to wake out of sleep. Because our salvation draweth nigh. Roughly paraphrasing. But it says, verse 48. It says, then the angel said unto me, go thy way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders the Lord thy power thou hast seen. So this is Ezra's, because he pretty much got a sneak preview of things to come. So he tells these people, pretty much about, that the world that to come is made for few, because there's going to be great destruction, just as it was in the times of Noah. And we're doing the same thing as Noah, and you can see, the same reaction. Not everybody's going to be hip to this tune. We're out there week in and week out, piping this song unto you, but we see that only the people, that resonate with this spiritually, can really, jam to it. And that's why, you got to ultimately, put on, therefore, the elect of the Most High. This is Colossians 3, verse 12. It says, put on, therefore, as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness and humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. So these are the characteristics that the hopeful elect would carry, that they would show, because we understand about how Yahweh Shai said, turn the other cheek when a brother offends you, or if you have a thing in your eye, make sure. Well, I'll say it like this: if you see that a brother has a mote in his eye, make sure that you yourself don't have a mote. Because we don't just go around rebuking people for no reason. A rebuke that we give to a brother, it goes through channels in our mind. Because we can't be hypocrites. So like if a brother, like how the parable goes, if he's got something in his eye, we make sure to examine ourselves, and then we help with another brother's examination. But and that goes to being humble of mind. Being meek and long suffering. Because we know Jake down here is carnal. We got the chains of chains of death pretty much. That they're going to offend all the time. It doesn't say specifically that the hopeful elect how many times they offended, but Yahweh Shai pretty much laid it down that if a brother offends you, you pretty much have to bear that for him, and it's going to be 7 times unto 70. But you ultimately always have to have that kindness and long suffering to the hopeful elect. And verse 13 says, forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, you also do ye. Because the hopeful elect, because as I was reading the 2nd Ezra too, we pretty much are putting on that crown, because we pretty much also I'll bring it up real quick, because it says right here in verse 47, it says, it is the Son of the Most High whom they have confessed in the world. We were out there week in and week out telling you about Yahweh Shai, because we've confessed it, and that's why we're going to be commemorated for those things. We ain't doing this for nothing, and you can see no one else is doing it either. Well, so it says, even as Hamashiach forgave you, also do ye. And I just want to read a few more precepts. This is in Ecclesiasticus 4, verse 28. It says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. So don't get dismayed, when, things happen in your life. You have to understand, that this is the trial that we have to go through. We have to, continue on the straight and narrow. So whatever it may be that, the comes in your way, you have to strive unto it unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. And the scriptures say that the Lord's not going to put you through too much that you can't bear. He just wants you to go through it. He wants to see pretty much if you're really about this. This straight and narrow, it ain't for everybody. Because if it was easy, it was for everybody, then you'd see a whole bunch of people lined up. But you don't, because the hopeful elect that's a small remnant. It's 144,000. 12,000 out of each tribe of the nation of Israel. But continue on, verse 29. It says, be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss. Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants. Let not thine hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Pretty much, be brotherly. You got some, give. And if a brother gives, accept and say the water. Because we're all pretty much in this together. They're like if you can imagine like a straight and narrow, everyone's walking in the line. You're not seeing people cut or like being rude to each other. They're pretty much taking motes out of each other's eyes. Being brotherly. All right, so the last precept I wanted to read is in 1 John 3, verse 14. It says, we know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. It says, whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer, and ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him. So as we're, coming into these last days, Lord's will, the elect is sealed. we could start seeing those characteristics of the elect, because we're putting on, as the elect, as it says here in Colossians 3. But then also we're going to start seeing people that are pretty much faking the funk. They're pretty much like you could say that in the spirit, the wheats and the tares are being separated. In Lord's will, we endure unto the end. And then whoever hears this, it resonates with you. I pray that you examine yourself before you start taking other motes out of people's eyes. Because you don't want to be a castaway. You don't want to be a person that can't be forgiven. Because we always have to forbear our brother. But you have to understand that it goes two ways. You can't just offend brothers and then expect to offend tomorrow. Because that's not the point of this. It's about separating from your old self, and being a better person, becoming a better person. Because we're trying to get those crowns of uncorruptible. So that's why we got to put on the uncorruptible. We got to put off our old selves. I'll read that one more time in 2nd Ezra 2 verse 45, and it says, he answered and said unto me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms. So those are those characteristics that we're supposed to have. And if you don't, I recommend you start examining yourself. All right, that's the end of this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash, and Shalom Akim.